There is a fable in which a very wealthy man, expecting an important dinner guest, instructs his chef to make a soup using all the very best ingredients the world has to offer. In a nearby monastery, a monk smells it simmering and is so overtaken with desire that he scales the monastery walls in search of the soup, never to return. Some of us don't have that kind of courage on our own. Some of us need some help. A friend, a fear, a muse to make the climb. And sometimes subtlety may have no place in the equation.
I'm not sure who you are or how you got into my mirror, but you sure look like a lawyer. It was time to go, but I couldn't resist one last look in the mirror.
Feels like Halloween.
Ultimately, it made no sense to wear a suit to a full day of job interviews. Considering the task at hand, bare feet and overalls rolled to mid-calf would have been more practical. A slop bucket would have made a nice replacement for the briefcase, maybe even a muck shovel. But I'd done my research and I knew that none of the firms I was visiting encouraged farming implements. I didn't take any time off after the bar exam, the results of which wouldn't be available for another 4 months. I was out of money, and however uninspired I was by the prospect of 40 years of law, I needed a job. I hate talking to people with tension in my lips. It makes me self-conscious. I find that by smiling hard and wide, it
Stop that.
Mr. Spencer? Mr. Cates will see you now. Mr. Cates, your 1030 is here.
Send it in.
Good morning, Mr. Cates.
Good morning. Have a seat. Let me just refresh my memory. I've seen a lot of these over the past few weeks. J.J. Spencer. Peculiar name.
It stands for Jerome Jonathan, but I've always gone by J.
So,
Jonathan.
Jimmy, why law?
Well, my father is an attorney, and ever since childhood I've wanted to follow in his footsteps. Save the explosive temper and cirrhotic liver.
Mm-hmm. And having now been through school, do you know what field of law you want to practice?
Yes, sir. I want to be a litigator.
Good. Why is that?
I enjoy the challenge of constructing a case and presenting it in a compelling way. And the use of language that's an attorney's stock in trade has always attracted me. I've spent more Saturday afternoons than I can remember with just a cup of coffee and a dictionary, studying why certain words evoke an emotional response and others don't, the use of rhyme and meter, logical progressions, advocacy skills.
Yes, I've studied language myself. But I'm sure you realize that being a litigator, as lucrative as it is not an easy field. Probably the single most difficult area of concentration.
I welcome the challenge, sir. I've had pasta 8 nights in a row, pal.
Think you're up to it?
Well, yes, sir. I spent Sunday morning trolling the grocery store with a pin and sucking out the innards of eggs.
Just so you know, fielding in Cates requires no fewer than 2,200 billable hours a year. And you may find yourself billing as many as 25. That means there are going to be some very late nights and very long weekends. Are you married? Girlfriend? You might want to consider letting her go.
I'll have the papers drafted this afternoon, sir.
Hey! Can somebody rub some lotion on me?
But tell me, Jeffrey, why would anyone want to work this hard?
Because raw eggs taste like mucus. It would be easy to drift through my working years as a 9-to-5 man. I could devote my time to other things, concentrate on being a well-rounded individual. But the Renaissance is over. I want to be great at what I do. And to be great at something means total devotion. Nothing against life, Cates, if that's the way you swing, but I prefer work. Tedious, superficial, lucrative work. You told me I'd be out of here by 5 every night. I'd turn around, walk out that door, so help me. At the risk of sounding materialistic, Cates, there are certain luxuries I want to enjoy, and the only way to do that is through hard work. Dreadful, soul-stealing, borderline criminal work.
Anybody mind if I go nude? And where are we with that lotion?
Very impressive, Ted. Well then, do you have any questions for me?